Welcome back. Get ready to relive insightful discussions, gain fresh perspectives, and be inspired by the wealth of knowledge our community has to offer. Let's dive into another episode. Due to some technical difficulties, today's recording will start with a brief delay. Our apologies for the inconvenience.
And certainly, if you are go take a look at that website and your organization is not there, if you don't see their logo, that means that they are not a partner. And we would encourage you to put them in touch with us. We'd be more than happy to welcome them into our partner network as well. So some exciting updates. We are under our Vision 2030 strategic plan, which you may have read about in our 2023 annual report, and it's something that we will continue providing progress on. It is our plan for engaging US-based communities of color and really introducing insurance as a career of choice, helping to close the racial wealth gap and helping to position insurance tools and careers as a way to be able to close that wealth gap and protect generational wealth as well. One of the key metrics that we are after in our Vision 2030 strategic plan is the growth of NAAIA chapters. So very similar to what we've done here in Charlotte, and I can think about the reactivation of our Columbus chapter, our Cleveland chapter, as well, Phoenix, which also chartered last year. So our map has really been growing over the last couple of years. Our Boston chapter and our Houston chapter will celebrate their 5-year anniversary this fall, which is really exciting. And we know that there will be many more to come. And so we currently have 24 chapters across the US, and we are under a plan that by the year 2030, we will have 50 chapters across the US. And so we are continuing to grow and make NAAIA more accessible to our members wherever we are across the nation. One of the ways also in which we are engaging members and working to be accessible wherever you are has been through our regional forums. And so we had over 300 members attend 4 different regional forums that we held this year in Richmond with our Central Virginia chapter, our chapters in the West, Phoenix, Los Angeles, Colorado, and San Francisco came together to put together the forum in Las Vegas. We had our Northeast Forum in Boston and our Midwest Forum in Detroit. And wow, what a time we had at those forums. So a half day closing with a founder's reception in honor of our founder, Mr. Gerald Tillman, who was with us at all of our forums this year. We've gotten really good feedback from members about the forums as a way to grow our technical skills, provide more networking opportunities, and really to be able to learn, connect, and grow with each other. So we'll be excited later on this fall to announce our 2025 regional forum locations and the chapters that will be hosting them. So more to come there. But just wanted to say thank you in particular to our host chapters for their work in helping to open their doors in their cities to NAAIA members coming from throughout their regions. Really exciting announcement that will be coming out in your inboxes tomorrow. We've talked before about the NAAIA Foundation, which many of you may be familiar, that NAAIA had a community development corporation. And a few years ago, we made the decision to really move that community development corporation into its own 501c3 for the purposes of scholarship, raising money for scholarships, and supporting leadership development. And the foundation board has been doing a lot of really hard work to set up the infrastructure, and we are now ready to take that to the next level. And we are doing so with hiring our inaugural Director of Social Impact Operations, Mr. Ethan Zagori, who is here with us in Charlotte. So Ethan, stand up and wave for the people. Very glad to have Ethan on board. Tomorrow will be Ethan's 1-month anniversary. So he has hit the ground running. He has already been with our chapter. He's met members of the chapter here in Charlotte. He was in New York a couple of weeks ago as well. And so we'll be excited to share more about the work that the NAAIA Foundation is doing and how you and your organizations can support that work as well. But you'll see tomorrow in the announcement, you'll be able to read about Ethan's background, and it'll have his contact information in there as well if you want to get in touch with him. 2 things that people have been asking us about that we want to provide some updates to. So last year, in June, we rolled out our new NAAIA brand the week of Juneteenth. Do we like the brand? I'm seeing there's a number of people here who either have their lapel pins on or they have a NAAIA polo or a NAAIA t-shirt on as well. And so I'm gonna go ahead and say, yes, we like the brand. One of the things that we did before conference last year was open a pop-up store for you to be able to purchase some NAAIA gear ahead of coming to conference. So we will do the same this year. As we did last year for the very first time, we will also have a NAAIA store available at conference. So please keep some room in your suitcase so that you can get a chapter hoodie, a t-shirt, a polo, and some other NAAIA branded items that will be available on site at conference. And the items that we have on site at conference are exclusive items. You will not be able to get them anywhere. They will not be available in the online store. There's some great stuff in the online store as well, but you will also have the ability to purchase some items while you are on site at conference. We've been working on our new website for a while, so I don't know if anyone has been out to NAAIA.org recently, but if you haven't, you should go. You are in for a treat. We have taken a lot of feedback from members and particularly from our chapter leaders about making our website more user-friendly, more accessible, and doing a better job of telling the story of the NAAIA that we are today. We have been around for 27 years and have done exceptional things for 27 years. And this period of growth that we've been in, we've been able to accomplish much more. So our website does a better job telling the story of who we are now and the story of where we're going. So if you've not had an opportunity to check that out, we would encourage you to visit NAAIA.org and see what we've been up to there as well. If you were at conference in Columbus last year, if you were one of the 824 people who were with us in Columbus last year at conference, there was a stat that we shared at our membership meeting that really caught a number of people by surprise. And that was when we looked at our membership growth from 2019 up to that point, which was October 2023, we had 181% membership growth, which was just outstanding. We are at the point today, and we actually think the number is a little bit higher. We've got some more memberships that are coming in, some partners that are turning in rosters. But to be able to say today that NAAIA has 2,400 members across the US, and that represents a 423% increase from our membership in 2019. So we have been in this period of tremendous growth as our partner network has grown and as our chapter network has grown as well, that has brought more people to NAAIA. The number one way that people find out about us is word of mouth from you, our members. And so I want to thank you for being great ambassadors of NAAIA, of our work, of the experience that you're having. When you share those LinkedIn posts about the chapter program that you attended or our national webinar, or from being at our national conference, they really do have a wide and far reach. We watch a lot of those statistics and impact, and we see not just in the comments that people make on LinkedIn or Instagram, but a number of people reach out to us and say, hey, how can I make sure if I missed conference this year that I'm in the room for conference next year? And so it's really you that are driving our growth as an organization. And so thank you so much for doing that is the primary message. And the second message is to keep going. Certainly the way that we know that we will continue to grow as an organization is by not just having more members and more partners and more chapters, but really protecting that sense of community that we have, the personalized experiences that we're providing, particularly through our chapter network and through our national programming as well. One of the things that we will ask you to do as well is there's a number of us that when we first became NAAIA members, we very eagerly filled out our membership profile. Some of us just go in there to renew annually. Something that's been interesting for us as we've gone in and looked at profiles with the people that we know, and we say, wait, this was this person's title from 10 years ago. They were at that organization 10 years ago. They've been at 2 other organizations since. We want to encourage you, all of our members, to go into your account, and you'll be receiving some emails about this coming out next week. And update your profile. Tell us who you are, tell us what you're interested in, tell us where you're working, what you're doing in the industry now. One of the stats that we learned from our journey study in 2018 that was reinforced by our next steps on the journey study in 2023 is that Blacks and African Americans, when we come into the insurance industry, tend to stay in the insurance industry. So we might move around in different organizations, and we might move around in different roles or different verticals within the insurance industry, but we have a tendency to stay in the industry. And so I would imagine for most of us that when we joined NAAIA at some point over the last 27 years, we were doing a different thing than what we are doing today. So we would encourage you to go in and update your member profile, and we'll help provide some instructions for how you can do that. I'm really excited. This year, we had a great number of responses to our NAAIA census that we released in the month of May. And I'm excited to welcome DJ Eng, our Director of Marketing and Brand Engagement, who will walk us through the census results.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm just here to briefly share some of the things we learned in the NAAIA census this year. As you can see from the screen, we had 572 respondents. Thank you so much to those members that were able to engage with us this year. And if for everyone that we were not able to engage, we hope to in the future with the Update and Win campaign. So go in. The 572 respondents that we were able to get is 26% of the total NAAIA membership at the moment. As you saw earlier, our membership number has grown exponentially since last year as well as 2019. So we're going to look for that in the future as well. Some of the key takeaways we had were that strong representation across career stages, meaning that we have mid-career managers, emerging leaders, senior managers, executives, all ranging in high numbers, as well as our member value standing out. Professional growth and networking being those highest numbers at 72% and 74%, as well as at the same manner, our members still wanting more in the areas of improvement of more networking events, as well as improved communication. On the board, you can see 9% of our respondents are professional members affiliated with chapters. And then finally, we have some feedback from our members, expanding community gatherings, enhancing our connections with the national chapter, from national to chapters to more regional messaging, as well as boosting our mentorship opportunities for more vibrant communities. NAAIA is already ready to act with a mentorship program coming in February 2025, spearheaded by our new Chief of Staff, Kevin Hooks. Finally, we have our member profile. That's one of the things that we saw overwhelmingly in a part of the, this year's census is that 112 of our respondents wanted member profiles created for themselves. We'll have this in a full message of this because it's a lot for the screen, but for now, we have Alexis Simmons. She's a member of our NAAIA Chicago chapter. Started as a total loss auto claims adjuster at Liberty Mutual, transitioned to account analyst at PNC Underwriting at Liberty Mutual, currently an inland marine underwriter at the Hartford in Chicago, Illinois. She has been extremely impacted by NAAIA by provided tools and inspiration to support and lead diversity efforts, as well as expanded professional networks and developed leadership skills. Moving on to our next speaker, Kevin Hooks.
Thank you, DJ. Appreciate it. Good afternoon, depending on where you are. I am Kevin Hooks, the National Director of Programs and Chief of Staff. I am excited mostly because of the programming, the richness of the programming, and this being the 7th year. This year's theme is From Vision to Victory, Thriving in Today's Workforce. One of the reasons that we do this is we like to prepare leaders to lead by educating them, providing best practices. Dr. King once said that we should learn, baby, learn, so we can earn, baby, earn. And that's the whole reason behind this opportunity. The program will include incredible 2-part leadership development workshop, also include 5 panel discussions and fireside chats featuring industry leaders and peers. It's a 2-day summit, virtual, starting July 23rd and 24th. And the big highlight of the program, more than anything, beyond all of the incredible people and speakers, is this year's keynote speaker is Dr. Dennis Kimbrough. He is the author of Think and Grow Rich, and he's also an author of What Makes the Great Great and several other books. He's a professor at Clark University, and he does incredible work. You will learn from him. I think he will deliver the right messaging with the right notes. And so please, tomorrow the registration's open. We ask you to make sure that you sign up, be first to market, so you don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. So this year's National Leadership Summit, virtual, July 23rd and 24th. Thank you. I'm going to bring Jeff up to speak next. How about that?
You can see National Leadership Summit will open tomorrow featuring Dr. Kimbrough. I'm back, Jeff the Snow, National Operations Director, here to talk about NAAIA National Conference, because no one wants to know about that, right? The theme for the 2024 NAAIA National Conference is Diverse Perspectives, Collective Impact, Shaping the Future of Insurance. And we couldn't be more excited to dawn upon New Orleans this September. I know everyone's asking, when registration open, when registration open, all I'm going to give you right now. But I will tell you, early bird registration will be $700 for members and $900 for non-members, and will open the very early in July. Conference is going to be packed full of information and full of experiences. So make sure you're packing your comfortable shoes and your late nights, because we hope you'll enjoy New Orleans, but we'll hope you'll enjoy the conference even more than Bourbon Street. We will have 2 pre-conference summits again this year. There'll be the Agent Broker Pre-Conference Summit, as well as the Emerging Leaders Pre-Conference Summit. Agent Brokers is going to be delivering exceptional experiences, and the Emerging Leaders will be leaders of the new schools of insurance. Both will be on Monday, September 16th. Those are not included in your full conference registration. So if you do want to register, those are a $300 additional. We will have our sneaker ball again this year, but this year it's going to be the welcome reception. So on Tuesday evening is when the welcome reception will happen, and it will be the sneaker ball. So I hope we don't see everyone in the same sneakers you had on last year, because we will be checking. So step your game up, just saying. The silent auction and gala will also happen to conclude the conference on Thursday evening. So pre-conferences are Monday. Tuesday, we start content with community service. We have the membership meeting, welcome reception, and then we go all the way through till Thursday evening for get out with the gala and silent auction. For those that you were there last year, you will recall we started a robust silent auction. So make sure you bring your coins to New Orleans to get some of these great things that will benefit the J.L. Tillman Scholarship Program. We'll have plenty of workshops, content. Our trade show is expanding again this year. We'll have a dedicated time for all attendees to attend the trade show this year, as well as have an author's corner and great content on the trade show stage as well. So no shortage of things to do in New Orleans as well. So make sure you keep an eye out in your email, because registration will open at the same time. The room block will open as well. So make sure you are ready, because as you have known for the last 2 years, we most likely will have a sold out conference, and we will not be allowing anyone who's not in that registration list to come. So make sure you pay attention, register on time, and join us in New Orleans. We look forward to seeing you. Now, welcome back up Omari to close us out.
All right. Conference is always the update everybody wants. So after Jephthah speaks, nobody really wants to ask me any questions, but while we save it for one of the last things. I do want to just share before we open up for Q&A, a couple of things that you should have seen in your email. One is that applications for the National Board opened on June 15th. And there are 3 seats open. I would just encourage you to read that email. Our National Board members do a lot of work in advocacy and ambassadorship on behalf of NAAIA to make sure that we have the infrastructure that we need, that we have the money that we need, that we are thinking strategically in the way in which we engage the industry. And I am incredibly proud. I have 13 different bosses on the National Board, and I am incredibly proud to work for all of them and on your behalf as well. When you read that email on the National Board application, you'll see the requirements for National Board members. If you browse our website and look at who's on the National Board, you'll see the areas of responsibility that they carry, from programming to marketing to nominations and elections, and to agent engagement and development as well. So there's a number of areas of expertise that our board members also serve on a variety of committees to help enable NAAIA to continue to move forward. You might have some expertise that could be useful to helping to steer and guide NAAIA at a national level. There are 3 seats that are open for election this year. So we would encourage you to submit your applications. In that email, that there are, I think, 3 different forms. There's an application that you fill out. There's a board member commitment form that you fill out as well. And then there's also a member nomination form. You do not nominate yourself. You need someone else who is an active NAAIA member. And when we say active NAAIA member, we mean somebody whose membership is paid and current. You cannot be nominated by somebody who used to be a NAAIA member, right? And now we have 2,400 members. So you should be able to find somebody who can fill out that board member nomination form for you. And all we're asking them to do with the board member nomination form, it's a very brief statement that they can speak to who you are and your qualifications, and that they would be willing to nominate you for the National Board. So there's 3 links in that email. So don't just do the first one. and think that you're done. If you do, we will be calling you to tell you that your application is incomplete. So please make sure that you do all 3 of those. The email that came out 2 days later from that was our National Leadership Awards. And our National Leadership Awards are what we do to recognize exceptional people among our membership and in our industry each year. There are 4 different award categories where you can nominate someone. There's our Agent Broker Leadership Excellence Award. There's an Emerging Leader Award. There is a Corporate Leader Award, and our Pinnacle Award is our Lifetime Achievement Award. All 4 of our award winners, and if you look on our website, you'll be able to see past award winners as well. There is quite a distinguished number of people who have received these awards for several years, and they are type form nominations as well. So if you have the contact information of the person that you'd like to nominate for an award, there's a couple of questions that we're asking you to answer on their behalf about why you're nominating them for this award, why they are deserving of this recognition. Each year, this is one of the toughest things that we do across NAAIA. And so this is one area where we really don't mind you, our members, give us a whole lot more work to do. We really encourage you to submit nominations of people in the industry. We have meetings already set on the calendar so that we can review the extensive amount of nominations that will come in from our membership to be able to make determinations on each of these 4 winners. So please take a look at that email. The criteria for those awards is also linked in those emails as well. And the process to submit is honestly less than 5 minutes for each award. So if there's somebody that you're thinking about who is worthy of recognition in any of those categories, Lifetime Achievement, Agent Broker, Corporate Leader, or thank you, any of those 4 categories, please, please, please submit a nomination. And please make sure that you do so by the deadline. We will not be taking nominations after the 17th of July, and we will not be accepting board nominations after the 15th of July. So please pay attention to those emails that you've received. There will be additional reminders, both on the national board applications and on leadership awards that will go out to our members. But if you're already thinking about somebody, just block off a half hour in your calendar to go in and nominate someone for one of those 4 leadership awards. We have an agent roundtable coming up on the 16th of July. That will be our next national webinar following this one. We've got a fantastic lineup already scheduled there. So you'll be seeing more marketing and information about that being released shortly. And then I also just want to call your attention to our fall career fair. But on August 13th, we will have our second virtual career fair. We encourage you to come to the career fair. Certainly, if there are folks that you know who are looking for job opportunities with the leading organizations in the insurance industry, this is a great place to be able to meet with the recruitment team, to be able to share your resume, talk about your experience, explore next steps in your career as well. We always have great feedback that there are quality conversations that happen at our career fair as well. And we welcome job seekers of all levels. So this career fair is really targeted to experienced and executive, but we know that there's a number of college students who are looking for internships and looking for offers following graduation. And so they're welcome to attend as well. So if you have a niece or nephew or child or somebody in your family who needs some money and needs a job so that they can get off your payroll, send them to the career fair so they can meet the recruiters as well. When we send out information, and we know that we send you a lot of stuff, one of the things that you told us in the NAAIA census is that email is your primary way of learning about information that comes from NAAIA. So we spend time to really be very deliberate and intentional and really to the point with the messages that we send to you via email as well. So please pay attention to the emails that we send. I am often the front man of our work that we do at NAAIA National, which is a significant part of my job. But I am delighted that this is not work that I do alone. In addition to the 24 chapters and their boards, their presidents, their vice presidents, and all of their board members, and our national board members, we have a growing staff at NAAIA National. So it is hard to believe that 2 years ago, we had 2 people on staff. And when we did the town hall last year, I think there were 3 of us, maybe DJ had just started. So 4 of us last year. And so as you see here on the screen, there are 10 faces on the screen. And there's one additional announcement that I'll also make. Our staff works incredibly hard to be responsive to your feedback and to be very proactive to what it is that you share with us about your needs. We continue to think through our structure to make sure that we are best positioned to be able to serve you, our members, and to be responsive to our partners and challenge our industry to do more, particularly when it comes to diversity, equity, inclusion, and when it comes to leadership development. I am proud of all the individuals that you see here on the screen and to be able to work with them each day. The 11th staff person who is not on this screen just yet is Dawn Jackson. Dawn recently came on board as our project manager for chapter expansion. She is based right outside of Tampa, Florida, has been a longtime NAAIA member, formerly worked at Liberty Mutual in operations, and has done some work with the employee resource groups at Liberty Mutual. And so has relationships across the industry, someone who's been in the insurance space for over 25 years. And so we're really, really excited to have Dawn on board to help us move from 24 chapters closer to our 50 chapter number that we are targeting by 2030. You will see some announcements about Dawn. She's already updated her LinkedIn to say that she's with us. And so if you are someone who is interested, if you're in an area where there's not a chapter now, and you are interested in starting a chapter or pulling some people together in the area where you are to explore having a chapter, we certainly have Clive McCarthy, who is our chapter development chair on the national board, but now you can also reach out directly to Dawn. Her email is djackson@NAAIA. We're excited to welcome Dawn to NAAIA as well. Lots of growth, lots of things changing, lots of moving parts happening. And all of it really comes from the feedback that you provide us and ways that you would like NAAIA to move and advocate on our behalf in the industry. One of the things I very proudly say when I meet with other association CEOs, often association CEOs and executive directors are there really from an infrastructure and strategic standpoint. They're not always tied to the industry of the organization in which they're leading. And they are not often members of the organization in which they are leading. And the hat in which I operate first in the work that we do at NAAIA is as a NAAIA member first and foremost. It's one thing I'm always really proud to say, that I am in that number of the 2,400 and have been since 2017 and plan to continue to be for many, many more years to come as well. With that, I'm going to take a deep breath because I feel like I was doing some rapid fire talking there and just see if there are questions in the room or any questions online that we have as well. Maybe we start with online questions. The career fair is virtual, so you do not need to go to any location other than a device with internet access to be able to attend our career. This is a really good question. Someone asked us, I would agree, Seattle needs a chapter. So yes, we'd love for that to happen. This question on how does the summit and the gala work? Our National Leadership Summit is a 2-day virtual experience, July 23rd and 24th. Summit registration will be opening tomorrow. So you'll receive the instructions on how to sign up there. The cost for the summit is $175 for members and $225 for non-members. Organizations that are NAAIA partners mostly have submitted, there's a number of comp registrations that are included in different partnership levels. And so if you work for a NAAIA partner and you've been nominated to attend the Leadership Summit, likely you've already gotten an email from someone inside of your organization who works with us to say that you've been nominated to attend the National Leadership Summit. So if that's the case, you will get an email from us that will have dedicated registration instructions for you along with your code so that you're not paying dollars out of pocket. If you're not on a partner-funded registration, then you will see all the ways that you can pay to attend the National Leadership Summit as well. The gala. So the gala is a fantastic experience. It is included in your full conference registration. There's a reception that happens. There's an hour reception that happens prior to the gala. It is a plated dinner. There is live music, and there's a number of presentations, including the 4 awards, along with chapter and other information that is shared on stage from the gala. And really, after we get through the program and we eat delicious food, we dance. We dance all night. So make sure, get your cute shoes, but also bring your shoes where you can do some moving and grooving on the dance floor as well.
There's a question about Corn Ferry.
There's a question in the chat about our Corn Ferry partnership. So we are a community partner with Corn Ferry out of the Corn Ferry Foundation, I should say. And there's a program that they developed that launched in, I think, 2021 or early 2022 called Leadership U for Humanity. It is a 6-month cohort program, comes with executive coaching. There's an online career assessment. There are live meetings of the cohorts, which range in size from 25 to 35 people. We have a dedicated cohort that we are doing for NAAIA Emerging Leaders that is launching on July 7th, that will run until January. And we've had, I think, almost 75 NAAIA members over the last 2 years who have been through the Corn Ferry Leadership Youth for Humanity program. It is a fantastic program. We've gotten rave reviews from folks who have been through it. We've had people go through at every level of their kind of career stages. It is really intended for mid-career to senior managers. It's really the target audience for that program. So we're doing some different things for our dedicated emerging leader cohort that we have coming through in July. I think there are 30 individuals in that cohort. So we're excited about that. If you are interested in participating in the Corn Ferry program and you work for a NAAIA partner, your partner liaison can recommend you for the Corn Ferry Leadership Youth for Humanity program. They can send you the link in the application so that you have that as well. So it's a conversation you should have with your direct manager and the partner liaison. And if you do not work for a NAAIA partner and are interested in joining that program, reach out to us directly at info@naia.org. And you can also connect with your chapter president, who knows how to get in touch with us in multiple ways. So all of the above. So yes, please connect with your either the partner liaison from your organization or your chapter partner if you're interested in the Corn Ferry Leadership Youth for Humanity program. Exciting things happening in the chat. Anything else in the online Q&A? We're good there for now. Anyone in our room here live in Charlotte has a question you would want to ask in front of everyone?
I have a question. Are there any insights that you can share with us regarding membership in terms of geography, industry, or product and demographic? Just wondering where we're pulling new members from.
Yeah.
And where do we need to focus efforts to grow?
It's a great question. So the question was, are there any insights we can share about who our members are, any demographics about those members? Short answer is yes. We learned a lot in our NAAIA census. And the data that we collected from our NAAIA census, which was primarily, there was certainly a very active crew of people who have been NAAIA members for many years who filled out the survey. We had a significant number of new members who were newer to NAAIA, joined within the last year or so, who also took the census and shared with us who they are, why they decided to join. We see property and casualty, specialty, reinsurance, commercial, personal lines is the areas where the majority of our members are in the P&C sector. We have almost 10% in employee benefits, which is a big change for us as a rising population. In addition to kind of the core insurance areas, really strong presence from underwriting and claims in our membership as well. A number of folks, I think our primary membership audiences are executive and officers. mid-career managers, and emerging leaders are kind of our main three categories. Geographically, our members are all over the place. About 10% of our members are in NAAIA's West region. So that's becoming our fastest growing region in terms of planting new chapters. Most of our members are shared between the Northeast and Midwest regions, though the South is growing, with Charlotte now having over 120 members. Here, our Florida chapter is now over 100 members as well. Our Atlanta chapter is growing closer to 200 members. And our Richmond, Virginia chapter is also fast growing. So we're seeing a lot of growth in the South from a membership standpoint. In terms of the chapter. We're excited about where we will be able to go as we continue to grow from 24 chapters to 50 chapters. There are some locations that we have prospected based on strong Black African-American populations, financial centers, presence of current partners, and some partners that we are prospecting. There's some cities that we should definitely be in that we're not quite in yet. So we're working to do those. So we certainly have a list on how we'll get to 50. Our primary way of chartering new chapters is folks reaching out and saying, I'm interested in being part of the team and taking a leadership role on the ground. Our team is a little bit of everywhere. I'm based in Boston. We're in Charleston, South Carolina, Columbus, Ohio, Shreveport, Louisiana, the Washington, D.C. area, Chicago. So we're a little bit all over the place. Mostly we are in places where there are existing chapters. It really is the crew of people on the ground who say, we're coming together and we're going to do this. And we have worked really hard over the last 2 years to refine our process for starting new chapters to make it as easy as possible. Years ago, it took 3-4 years to start a NAAIA chapter. We're now, with a level of intentionality and commitment for folks on the ground, able to do that in about a year in terms of growing the brand presence. And we've got a number of tools and resources that we provide to folks who are looking to start chapters as well. I think we are good signal here. So, what I will just say in closing is one, thank you for all of your engagement. We see the comments that you leave on our LinkedIn post and on our Instagram. We see the comments in the chat on our national webinars, our claims clinics, our agent roundtables. We see the emails that you send us that you're sharing your experience with us, what you'd like to see, what you'd like us to do better, ways in which we are doing things really well. It's very excited in the NAAIA census to see the #1 response to what NAAIA could do better was either not applicable or the things that I've asked for, you're doing now, as a way of showing that we've been very responsive to feedback that's coming in. So that was about 40% of the responses to the question, what could we be doing better? I want you to know that when you send us feedback, when we ask you to take the NAAIA census, when we ask you to fill out the post-conference survey, that we read through every line of that, and we take that quite seriously. And so we really appreciate your feedback, and thank you for being a NAAIA member. We're really excited and proud of the journey that we've been on, and we know that we have farther to go. And we are really glad that we are on this journey with you together. So with that, I look forward to seeing you in New Orleans this September. We'll be excited to see you at our Agent Roundtable coming up, at our National Leadership Summit coming up. I think we have a life insurance awareness webinar that will happen in early September as well, prior to conference. So we will see you online there. And as always, if you have questions, if you have thoughts, if you have feedback, please feel free to send us a note, reach out to us. We love hearing from you, and we thank you for your time and your engagement. See you in New Orleans.
Thank you for watching this flashback episode of NAAIA. We appreciate your time and hope you found the insights valuable. Stay tuned for more enriching content. Until next time, thank you for being a part of the NAAIA community.